F1 is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and yet finances still find a way to put an end to some people's careers. So, as part of my series, Life After the Apex, where I talk about what happened to F1 drivers once they left F1, here are how 3 drivers were affected by it in different ways. Although I am starting off with Fittipaldi, who was not affected by finances, but as part of this series, I've got to go in order. So here we are. As a reserve driver for the Haas F1 team, he drove for them in 2020 at the Sakir and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and this was in place of Romain Grosjean after his horrific accident. And since then, he has never really left F1 as he remained a test and reserve driver for the Haas F1 team. And in 2025, he said he had been working with the Cadillac F1 team to develop their car for 2026, and he will be a test and reserve driver for the team. But he has also been taking part in a lot of other series and races, and in 2026 he's going to be taking part in the IMSA Sports Car Championship. Then we move on to Romain Grosjean, who drove for these teams during these times, and it left him with an average championship finishing position of 14th. Unfortunately, he said that him and his teammate Kevin Magnussen were dropped from the Haas F1 team because of the financial hardships that the team were facing due to the pandemic. However, he remained in the world of motorsport, and this year he's going to be taking part in the 24 Hours of Daytona, and I believe he is also going to be remaining as a reserve driver for the Prema Racing team in IndyCar. Next is Sirotken. He only had 1 season in F1 as a full-time driver, and that was in 2018 when he raced for the Williams F1 team, but he finished the championship off in 20th. But that didn't seem to be the main reason why he left. His backing came from SMP Racing, but they decided to end their partnership with the Williams F1 team due to poor performance during the season and also because of a slow development rate. But this meant because they pulled out, he had to pull out. So what is he doing now? Well, not a lot of racing. He did announce in 2022 that he was going to be stepping back from racing, although he has competed sporadically with SMP Racing in endurance. Still, he seems more focused on the kind of business side of racing, for example his academy. Finally is Antonio Giovinazzi. He had 2 races with the Sauber F1 team in 2017, and then he got a full-time seat with them from 2019 to 2021. This left him with an average championship finishing position of 17.3, providing you only count the full seasons. And why was he dropped from his seat? Well, he blamed it on money. He seemed to be alluding to the idea that Zhou Guanyu brought in a lot of sponsorship money, although some reports have said that his performance just wasn't strong enough. However, he's still doing pretty well for himself. He's currently a Ferrari endurance racing driver, and it was just last year that he won WEC with them.